Hey, this is Austin Bach recording a Battle for Zendikar draft on release weekend on Magic Online. No longer on the beta, we've graduated up to the regular client again. So I hope you'll notice that the audio and video quality is a lot better this time around. Got a better headset, got a better video compression software, so hopefully that's all going good now. Our rare is Felidar Sovereign, which is a pretty nice card. I don't know how often the ability is going to come up. It probably won't at all. But 4/6 Vigilance Lifelink is just very strong. Probably worth first picking, but let's take a look at the rest of the pack. Eldrazi Sky Spawner is one of the best commons in the set. It's pretty strong, but I don't think it's better than the Sovereign. Tidecaller I've been very impressed with as well. If you have a couple Awaken cards in your deck, it gets really good, but I think I'm just going to take the Sovereign first. It's really good in the the black-white life gain deck, so if that ends up being open, that could be pretty sweet. Here's another key piece in the life gain deck, the Medic, but don't think I want to take it this early, necessarily. Exert Influence is really strong if you're in the Converge deck, but pretty bad in every other deck. Coastal Discovery is really good. I might just take that here, honestly. Although I would have liked to have taken the Tidecaller first if I was going to go this route. But if we do end up in the blue-white Awaken deck, I'll still be happy with the Sovereign. Nothing else really exciting here. Snapping Gnarlid's really good in the Landfall deck. Spell Shrivel is a pretty good enabler for the Exile decks, and just other stuff that belongs in other decks. But yeah, Coastal Discovery is just the most generically powerful card. Good old Mole Drifter. Some less exciting cards here, but still some good stuff. Ruin Processor is my favorite of the big Eldrazi's, just because it can stabilize you immediately right away by giving you some much needed life and clocking up the board on turn 7. Tightening Coils is a really strong removal spell. I might just take that here. Keep myself open a little bit. Nothing else really exciting. Bone Splinters is fine in the black-green sacrifice deck, but I'm not really a big fan of that archetype. Broodhunter Worm, just a solid curve filler. Yeah, I'll just take Tightening Coils. Solid removal spell. It's good in like a blue-white type deck when you're flying over, because if you're just putting it on one of their guys and they can just have it around as a blocker still. So you want to have guys with evasion for this to be at its max potential. Try to set up my settings a little bit. Okay, what do we got? Belligerent Whiptail, one of the better landfall creatures for that deck. Myers Malice is pretty good. Mist Intruder is really good in the Processor deck. So I might even just take that here. The 2 blue cards we have could easily go into that deck if it's open. I haven't seen any indication that white is open necessarily. There's nothing else that really excites me. So yeah, I'll just take Mist Intruder. It's, like I said, it's the best card you could possibly have in that archetype. And you want to make, and like the deck is really hard to function if you don't have enough of this effect, so I'm happy taking it early. There's another Tightening Coils. There's also a Nettle Drone, which I think is a much stronger card. It's really good in the either the blue-red or the blue-black Devoid deck. It's just a really solid card on its own. I think it's one of the better red commons. I think I'm going to take that here, take a little bit of a risk. I could make a safe pick and take Tightening Coils, but Nettle Drone is one of the key pieces for the Devoid decks, and I just love the card a lot, so let's do it. Let's see where it takes us. We got Incubator Drone, which is just a solid body, gives you an Eldrazi. Cloud Manta is just a solid body, but worse than the drone, I think. it is better in like the blue-white skies deck if we're going for like the tightening coils and then fly over with evasive guys strategy. That would be a better card than the incubator drone for us. But like I said, we haven't seen any indication that the sovereign is, or that white is open and that we'll be able to play the sovereign. So I'm just going to take the incubator drone, just make another safe pick. It goes good with our Nebel drone if we end up in that deck, and it's just a solid body no matter which direction we end up going. Okay, very interesting decision here. Gideon's Reproach is a premium removal spell. There's also another Mist Intruder, which could be an indication that the processor deck is open, but not necessarily, because, you know, we're still in the early stages of the format. People don't quite know what all the key pieces are, so they may not value this card highly enough yet. But I think I'm going to go with my gut. Normally I would take the Reproach here, but I've so far seen no indication that white is open except for this, so I'm going to keep drafting blue. You know, the one color I'm pretty sure is open, and try to go for this processor something deck. Even if we're not the full-on processor deck, we can just be a blue-red devoid deck with a few processors. They'll still be good. Well, here, there's really nothing I want. Crumble to Dust is interesting because it is an exile enabler, but there's not a ton of non-basic lands, so like I would never main deck it. But there's really nothing else I want here. I guess I'm just taking the best card in the pack, which is the Stalwart. Probably not playing it. Ooh, Merc Strider. That's one of the payoff cards for Mist Intruder. So pretty happy with that. That's on the wheel too. Plated Crusher's fine, but I don't think we're going to be green. So yeah, we're pretty locked into blue at this point. We don't know what our second color is going to be yet. I mean, obviously our white card's the best, but haven't taken any other white cards yet. Salvage Drone, I'm not a fan of. So I guess I'll take an Eldrazi Devastator, in case we want that one big finisher. It's not one of the better ones, though. Yeah, Rune Processor I'd much rather have. So yeah, my indication from here is to draft the red-blue Devoid deck with some processors. Don't want another Devastator. Sure, I'll just put this in the sideboard. Yeah, we're set up pretty nicely for all the processors. We've got the Nettle Drone, and I don't think we passed any good red pack 1, so we should see some good red in pack 2. Like more Nettle Drones, if we get lucky, maybe a Herald of Kozilek. Fortified Rampart I actually like a lot if we do end up white. We could still end up white, you never know. We didn't see any white, but we also didn't pass any white, so I could see it being open next pack as well. If we get some nice Bomb Rare or something, or a Royal Spout, something along those lines. Pack 2, loading as my computer lags. March from the Tomb, foil, interesting. Wow. Yeah, Planar Outburst is great. Stasis Snare is also great, but it's not quite Planar Outburst, so that's a pretty big push in the white direction. What else do we have? Wind Rider Patrol is very good. I'd be very happy first picking it as well, but Planar Outburst is one of the better cards in the set, so I just can't justify taking a good flyer over it, even though it would be good in our deck, and it would guaranteed make our deck. But yeah, Planar Outburst, very good reason to be white, at the very least. And it has Awaken, which could randomly be relevant if we get some Halimar Tidecallers. So let's preemptively take out this Nettle Drone and pretend we're going to be blue-white for sure. I would play this Fortified Rampart, most likely. I'm not as in love with the Mist Intruders in this archetype, because there's less processors in white than in black, obviously. Ooh, Guardian of Tazim, don't mind if I do. Another big flyer. It's like pretty much one of the best blue bombs. So yeah, we're just blue-white bombs, basically, at this point. Kozilek Sentinel is nice in the blue-red Devoid deck. Adverse conditions, don't love it. Ghostly Sentinel, I also don't mind, but obviously it's worse than Guardian of Theme. So yeah, pretty happy with that one. Royal's Retribution, I'm not in love with. I'd much rather have a Gideon's Reproach at this point. Solid removal. We are lacking in removal a little bit. We've only got the Outburst and the Tightening Coils, and I guess the Merc Strider you could count as removal. Yeah, as I was saying, the Mist Intruders are not very good in this archetype, so in order for us to want to play them, we're going to have to pick up more cards like Merc Strider and Oracle of Dust and that kind of thing so we can justify playing them and not have to find other 2-drops to replace them. Yes, Royal Spout, exactly what I'm looking for. This is a premium card. It's the best Awaken card, I think. Well, I mean, unless you count like the rares, but it's good early, it's good late, it's insane late. Just like 6 mana, make a 4/4 that bounces something to the top of their library. It's probably most likely better than Coastal Discovery. Other cards I would want, Oracle of Dust, Shadow Glider, Courier Griffin are all fine. Easy Royal Spout. Yeah, we're definitely found our groove now. Unified Front is good, but not in this archetype. Looks like maybe another Incubator Drone. Yeah, don't really want anything else. Incubator Drone is solid, not exciting. I'm more interested in good 2 and 3 drops than 4 drops at this point. I could take another Fortified Rampart, which is one of the best ways to fight like the green-red landfall deck and other various aggro strategies. Or I could take Dispel, most likely a sideboard card, or Smite the Monstrous, which is what I'm going to take. Pretty much every deck's going to have a target for this. It's just very solid removal. If you can ever get an Eldrazi, you'll feel very good about it. Rush of Ice. It's either that or Anticipate, which is, I'm not sure which is better. I haven't had a chance to play with this much, so, but it seems like it could be pretty good, so I'll give it a shot. It's just it's a little more expensive, but we'll try it out. Since it's release weekend, we'll do some experimenting, I guess. Oracle of Dust. I'll take over another one. Just gives us a little more reason to play these Mist Intruders. I do want to try to lower my curve here, get some more 2 and 3 drops, because we're looking really good on 4 mana and above. Nothing I really want here. Angelic Gift, I guess I could play. It's pretty nice on Felidar Sovereign. And Ruin Processor, I guess, so not going to play it right now, but could see playing it in the future. I like Stonehaven Medic. Could end up with a couple random life gain synergies, I guess. Coral Helm Guide, why not? I like that card quite a bit, actually. It's impressed me a lot. Also good with Felidar Sovereign. At this point, probably not playing the Devastator. We've got enough good things to do in the late game, what with all our bombs and whatnot. So what am I looking for right now? Halimar Tidecaller is number 1 on my list, I think. At this point in our deck, it would be better than Felidar Sovereign, but I still stand by my pick. Felidar Sovereign's a much better card in a vacuum. Sure. Another Angelic Gift I'm not going to play. Ooh, Fortified Rampart Wield. Alright, so that'll do it for Pack 2. I'll go ahead and pause here and we'll resume Pack 3.